Hey there, everyone. Hope you're doing well. We made it through the week. It is Friday. Yes, we made it. We made it. Yay. Sorry, I'm a minute or two late. I just started doing something else and looked at the clock and I'm like, oh, I'm late. Anyway, well, we're here. Good to see you. Good to see you. Hey, Mama. Good to see you. Hmm. Cheers for making it through the week, right? So, um, anyway, what a week it was. So the kids went back to school this week. That was fine. Getting used to the silence again is going to take some time. It was really quiet in the house again today, and I was kind of lonely, honestly. Like, it's weird, like, because I guess maybe this is how like my young single childless teammates feel at home, just kind of lonely, no one to talk to. So I'm glad I got this 4:15 standing appointment with y'all, man. And just all kinds of other stuff going on. Some really good things happening that I can't talk about yet, but some really good things happening. But let me tell you, last night I had every one of my stress dreams. So I have a series of dreams that are all related to when I have a little bit of stress. And I actually don't physically show stress. I have great grace under pressure. I don't get short with people. I don't get anxious. I smile through it. I'm great at that. But it all comes back to visit at night. That's what it does for me. And so I have a series of stress dreams, and I had every single one of them last night, to the point that I woke up this morning and one of my pillows, the pillowcase had been torn off of it, like taken off, just a raw pillow in the pillowcase. What is going on? Eric is saying, isn't Todd still working from home? He is, but Todd's working from home. He literally is on Zoom calls from like 8:30 in the morning until lunch. He has like 30 minutes for lunch, and then he's on Zoom calls. Just constant. I do not see him at all. And I have to be quiet around him because he's in a room that doesn't have a door, one of the few rooms in our house that doesn't have a fucking door. And that's where he's camping out for work. So at least it's not the dining room where it was before. So I never see him. So it was just, it's like he's not here, really. So I'm all by myself with my husband. But anyway, my stress dreams. So I have this series of dreams that are always indicative of when I am under stress, either good things, bad things, questionable things, things I can control, things I can't control, all of that, right? One of them is, and I think I've talked about this before, one of them is that I'm in a very large hotel and I cannot find my room. I don't remember my room number, or my key doesn't work, or something like that. So, and that one is so stressful to me that it actually has spilled into my awake life, that when I go to hotels, I always take a photo with my phone of the front of the door, so I see the room number, see what the door looks like, all of that kind of stuff. I'm not kidding. That is how stressful that dream is for me. So I had that one last night. I had the one where I was in a large like casino resort, and I couldn't even just find the elevator to get to where I needed to go, or it was always going to the wrong place. So I had that one. And they're all kind of interrelated. I had the one where the elevator doesn't work properly and goes up and down, but like you push like 5 and it shoots up to 7, and then it drops down to 4, and then it goes up to 8. It was like that. So I have that dream. So I had that one last night. I had the one where I'm like at a resort. I don't know why they're always at hotels and resorts, but they're travel related. But I had one where I was at a resort and I get lost on the beach, and the next thing you know, the high tide is coming in, and I have to find my way to like a sandbar that I'm not drowning or anything. Like, I'm on dry sand, but the water is kind of coming around me. So I have that one. I had that one last night. And then I have the one where I can't find my car in the parking lot at the airport or the mall or wherever it is, like like a huge parking structure. I can't find my car. Also, that one is spilled into my natural life, my waking life. I also always take a photo of where my car is in a parking lot. Like if there's a marker that says what color, number, animal, whatever, however they demark the parking garage, I take pictures of that with my phone and keep it on there too. Terminal, and at DFW Airport, it's a little harder. I love DFW Airport. I think it is actually the smartest airport in the world, with all of its where you just pull directly up to the terminal that you need to go to. You don't fuck with any of the rest of them. I think it is a brilliant design for an airport, and they can expand it without being like catastrophic to everything else, right? The downside of that is sometimes you leave from like terminal D and you fly back into terminal A, and you have to remember what terminal, not only what parking garage, part of the parking garage, but like which actual garage you're in. And so that's also part of it. So I had all of those dreams last night, and I literally woke up this morning with one of my pillows with the case off of it, just straight. And Todd was like, what was that about? Because he didn't even notice that I was like tossing and turning or anything. So I don't know. It was weird. And Sandy is saying, I bought a box of the Boda Box Sauvignon Blanc today for the first time. I think you said it gave you crazy dreams. So I will report back next week. That one did. Black Box Sauvignon Blanc does not, which Aaron does not like that one. Actually, you got a bum box because I did too once, Aaron, and it tasted like petunias. And then the rest of them are fine. That's not what this is today, though. But yeah, Black Boda Box is the one that I was like, what am I on? It was like when we went to South Africa and I had to take the malaria medicine, the anti-malaria medicine, and it gives you like these really like realistic lucid dreams that are just super high stress. So yeah, that's kind of how my stress dreams feel too. So, and Aaron's saying, sounds like every time I'm drunk on a cruise ship, I can never find my room. That's funny. Can you imagine being, I've only been on 2 cruises ever, and I will only do it again if we go with a large group of people, and it must be a luxury cruise line. But the can you imagine being on a cruise right now? Like, are cruise ships even running? I don't know. I've been getting ads like served to me, and then email ads from celebrity cruise lines, but I don't know if they're running. Or I think I saw one that was like you can book, but then you can move it if you need to or whatever. So I don't know. Our family vacations, my friend Kelly Carpenter's company. They're doing a big Thailand trip next year, and it's for adults only. It's not the family trip. It's for adults only. And I am so interested in that trip because they plan amazing trips. But I don't know that I'm ready to plan even that far in advance yet. Oh, by the way, Stephanie has given Aaron some advice. The only way to be on a cruise ship, drunk. I agree on vacation in general. By the way, do you like the new way I'm wearing the bandana today? I'm going to do a stick up right after this. So those stress dreams were just like blowing my mind. Also, one thing I totally changed the subject. One thing I talked about yesterday was this cake art, like ATM for cake slices that went up in Trinity Groves close to our house. So I have an update on that. It is only after 9 p.m. They stock it during 8 o'clock hour. And then it's for after hours. So they're closed. They close at 9. So it's for people who want cake after 9 until they open the next morning at 10 a.m. That's too late for a drunk daddy. I can't go I really can't go anywhere after about 7:30 unless I'm driven. And I don't want cake that bad. So it's fine. But I was hoping that I'd be able to stop by there like in the middle of the day because it's part of a live cake shop. So I guess that's why. But I don't want to go into the cake shop if I can just get it from the. Plus, it's more fun to get it from like the cake ATM, right? Yeah. So, I got into a little tiff yesterday with a reporter from Channel 5 here in Dallas online. So they've done a story. Channel 5 has done this story about a state database of all the daycares that have had COVID cases. And it just set me off. I don't understand the point of that database. So I'm not anti-information, but is the point of that database to tell you? So it all it does is shame those daycares at this point. It says nothing about how they handled it, how they recovered from it, anything like that, where the cases came from. It literally is this daycare in Dallas had this many cases, right? So I don't know how that's useful to anybody. And in fact, I think that it's shameful to those people, and I think it's weak reporting, honestly, because I also think that every daycare, every school is going to have COVID cases at some point. Every single one in America, especially in Texas, are going to have at least a COVID case at some point. So what does that database tell you? So if you go on the database and you're like, oh, let's check out Mama's Daughter's Daycare in Midlothian, Texas, and it shows that they had 2 COVID cases. what do you do with that information? Do you say, no, I'm not going there. That's a scary place. That's a dirty place. Do you know when those cases took place? Do you know how they responded? Because, you can have a case of COVID in your school and no other kids get it, right? If they're all wearing the mask, if they're all doing social distancing, if they're all staying away from each other, if it was identified and they alert the right people, kind of contact tracing, they're keeping all the kids apart anyway, like only certain segments are kind of keeping them in pods. So that's where I think that database is just wholly missing enough information for it to be useful and informative to people. But some people, it was on Facebook because, that's where these arguments happen. And some people were like, I can't believe anyone, me, would be anti-information. The more information, the better. I would want to know if my daycare or if a daycare had COVID. I'm like, okay. So this morning I deleted my comment actually because I was like, you know what? I don't care that much about any of these people. And I don't know. How do y'all feel about that? So would you want a data, if there were a database of daycares or schools or whatever, because they're also pushing for schools to report this, of schools to report how many COVID cases they had, would that affect your outlook on that school? And if so, how? And would you want to know, I'm kind of guiding the question here, would you want to know like how they dealt with it? Because again, it's inevitable. It's going to happen. So anyway, Eric is saying, if I look at Facebook right before I go to sleep, I find that people from different walks of my life make guest appearances in my dreams. Isn't that funny? Now, it's so weird. I rarely have dreams about people I know. Most of the times I have dreams and it might be someone I know, but they're not portrayed as themselves. So it may be like my sister in my dream, but it's not physically my sister. It's Catherine Zeta-Jones or someone like that. She would be so lucky to be portrayed by Catherine Zeta-Jones. I love her. She's so beautiful. But anyway, it's something like that. And sometimes it's not even a famous person. It's just some other person. And I was reading about that, and that supposedly if people that you don't know appear in your dreams, and this is kind of spooky if it's true. Again, this is news-ish, just stuff I read. If someone appears in your dream and you don't know who they are, that is like a spirit getting into your mind. Now, I don't want to believe that though, because that just is too freaky. So, and Aaron is saying, I want to know. 3 teachers have already sent home this week from our son's school to help me to choose online versus in school. Now, I agree. If I don't know. I think just knowing a number is not enough information, though. I do not think that is enough information to know how the school is handling the situation, right? And so, anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm just curious what y'all think. If you don't agree with me, you're stupid. So that's it. I'm kidding. Creepy Sandy, right about the dreams. I know it's really, really weird. So, what else was I going to talk about today? SMU sent out let's get the COVID topics out of the way here. SMU sent out a very sternly worded letter to all students today, because school starts on Monday, I believe. They sent out a very sternly worded letter saying all parties will be canceled, are canceled. You should not have them. If we find out that you had an off-campus party, because SMU is real heavy-handed even with off-campus stuff. If we find out that you even had an off-campus party that had more than 10 people at it and you weren't observing things, we will shut you down. There will be strict disciplinary measures, because supposedly that is all the campuses that have opened so far. It's not on-campus stuff that's affecting it. It's just teenagers and lower 20-year-olds being teenagers and lower 20-year-olds. And they're having parties and they're going out and they're hanging out together. And then that's how community spread happens, because the community spread is not happening at the grocery store. It's not happening on an airplane even, or a bus or anything like that. The community spread is happening with family and friends. That's how people are spreading the disease. They're hanging out with people. They're play dates or partying or going out or just hanging out by the pool even, all that kind of stuff. So they're putting a kibosh on all of that. And because that's how the early campuses that have had to open and close real quick, they've determined that that's the reason why. And so SMU is like real strict, and it's a private school, so they're allowed to be strict like that. And so they are. I mean, and Dr. Turner, I adore Dr. Turner. He is the best thing that has happened to SMU, other than maybe just the people who founded SMU. And he's been there since I was a junior in college. So I graduated in 97, so that's quite a while he's been there. Just transformed that school. So when Dr. Turner talks, you're like, okay, I'm listening. Stephanie is saying, I'm all about online school. My kids are older, so I know it's much harder of a decision when your kids are young. Yeah, I actually am not pro online school. I don't think the interaction was great. Claire did really well at it. But our school, even the online kids right now, they're having to put uniforms on. They're having to report at a certain time. It's not flexible. And so I think a lot of people are doing the online school because they're like, we can wake up at different times and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know. I like a more structured school environment personally. And Kate is saying that she just read that email from SMU. They are not messing around. I tell you, good for Dr. Turner putting that out there. Also, I think it's a preemptive strike saying, hey, we told you this is what was going to happen. We're getting mad at you. And if you fuck this up for everybody, it's bad shit. So, and Mike is saying, obviously, they did not send it out at A&M or a lot of these other places, too. And Kate also likes Dr. Turner. Amazing. He is fantastic. I love him. I think I was fortunate enough to be one of the first students to meet with him. I have stayed in not person-to-person touch, but he always knows me when he sees me. So I think I just saw him. When did we go to the Tate lecture? I think in February. And I had dinner in the Tate lecture pre-dinner thing with them. It was great. So that sounded like a humble brag. That's not what I meant. I was just talking about SMU shit. So what else was I going to talk about? Oh, my first class nuts arrived. Remember about a week ago, 2 weeks ago, a month ago. I don't. What's time? I have no idea when anything is. Whenever I ordered from greatnuts.com, I ordered, and that's not an ad. I'm just turning you on some good shit. Greatnuts.com is a supplier to American Airlines for first class nuts. And because of the pandemic, they didn't need as many nuts. So there's like a nut surplus. How many times am I going to say nuts in this? It's like being at a gay bar. So they have a surplus of first class nuts. And so you can order them and it's like a pound. I got 3 1.5 pound bags for like $30. Totally worth it. I love nuts. Insert joke there. So they arrived finally. You open the bag, the first bag. It just smelled like first class. It smelled so good. And they're so good. It's the perfect mix of nuts. It's pecans, pistachios, which are my 2 favorite nuts. Almonds, also fantastic nuts. And they're the little almonds, which I prefer over the big ones. It's got that. And then it's got cashews, which are not my favorite, but Mason just eats the crap out of those. So he's just been picking those out. And it's got those. And then they have a version that's called the Aloha Mix, which is when you take first class to Hawaii, that they have dried fruit in it too. I don't love that one. And so I didn't order that one, but they have both. So not very expensive, wonderful, high quality nuts. And so I put 1 bag in the freezer. I decanted 2 of the bags and put them in like a big, like airtight sealed thing and then put it in the refrigerator so it lasts a while. But we're already like halfway through that first batch. So good stuff. Just wanted to let you know, since I talked about it before, it is worth it. Greatnuts.com. It is worth every penny. Good stuff. Especially if you eat a lot of nuts. Again, insert joke. I wonder if someone's grandmother's watching right now. That's an inside joke for one of our viewers here. So, I need your help after. Okay, it'll have to be after. Not to interrupt while I'm on my show. Close the door, please. I mean, y'all have personally witnessed how many times I've said this, right? All of you are my witness. And yet here we are, saying it again. Get out of my mommy dearest place and go back into my daddy sweetness place. Oh, other things I was going to talk about today. I'm all over the board with topics today. So an upcoming thing I want to do, I don't know if I'm going to do it live or make a video or what, but I need your help. So you going to help me? Yeah, you will. I'm going to order, I'm thinking I'm going to order like $100, $150 worth of stuff from Wish. And I want y'all to help me pick out what to order. Because I want it to be normal stuff. I want it to be funny stuff. I want it to be things that there's no way that that's as nice as they say it is. Just random stuff. I don't want it to be overly sexual. I don't want the dildos and the bongs and all that kind of stuff, because there's a lot of that. I get those ads. I want it to be like, I saw there's like a pink fur coat for $41. I'm going to order that one for sure, because I'm so dead curious about how that's going to turn out, right? By the way, Sandy is saying, you're going to be saying, why don't they listen to me until they're 18 years old? And until 18, because that's when they move out. And you don't talk to them on a daily basis anymore, right? Mike say, just give him some screen time already. He's got 4 hours. And Eric does not like nuts with skin on them. There is a joke in there somewhere. But the first class nuts, for if anyone watching this knows first class nuts, it is you. And that can be taken many, many different ways. Going inappropriate on a Friday afternoon. So anyway, so I need your help. So we all go onto Wish and just look for stuff that you're curious about, that you want to know. How did it turn out? Like, is it as good as you thought? I mean, there's some things on there that's like even plants. And then you look in the description, it's like seeds for the plant. So it's not even the good plant. But there's all kinds of shit on there. I've never ordered from there. I've also heard it takes forever. So I probably need to get an order in now so that I'll have it to y'all by Thanksgiving, right? So send me researchwish.com and let me know your thing. What you think I should order. And I'm $150, maybe $200. I don't know. It depends on what is presented. We will see. So I need your help with that. Speaking of things to order, I am always speaking of, right? I have seen so many people in the last week, just randomly, like friends. This isn't even ads. This is like friends talking about green pan. Carrie was talking about it. My friend Jeff was talking about it. I've seen other people. So it's this, I guess it's this internet, this as seen on TV kind of thing, but it's on the internet, and it's called green pan. And supposedly it is like Teflon, but like you can't scratch it. You can cut it with a knife. Like you can use a metal spatula, which I prefer using a metal fish spatula when I'm cooking. But Todd gets so mad at me if I do that in any of our nonstick pans, because he thinks I'm scraping it up. So anyway, and Eric is saying, do you have to have a membership to wish.com? It's asking for an email address and password. I don't know. I mean, I've signed in before, but you don't have to order anything. You don't have to pay to look at the site. So I don't know. Maybe you just have to have the email address, or maybe that's for free shipping or something. I am unsure on that. But I know that you definitely do not have to pay to be on it. So you can just log on. But this green pan thing, do y'all have a green pan? Any of y'all use green pans? I don't know. I'm interested though, because I am a sucker for some Instagram ads. I want them. There's all these ads for coats and stuff that look so great too that I'm curious about. But so green pan, let me know if you know anything about that. How many times am I going to say green pan too, right? Other things that I was wanting to ask y'all about or tell you about. Randomly, I ordered a full-length mirror. Oddly enough, there is not one in this house. I do not know how a gay man lives without a full-length mirror, but somehow I have 46 years of my life, 45 and a half years of my life. And so our RV has one, and I got used to looking at that one. And then plus, like I said yesterday, I'm on Like to Know It, and I want to start taking some outfit shots to post on there. And so I bought this full-length mirror, and it was delivered today from Amazon. And one of the things that cracks me up sometimes when you get stuff is you'll open a box, and there'll be a certificate of authenticity that comes in that box. I'm like, who is asking for a certificate of authenticity on a full-length mirror, full-length stand-up mirror, right? Like, who needs that? And I've noticed it in other things. I think this desk that I ordered came with one. So I'm wondering, is that a cultural thing? Are there certain cultures or like stuff that's made in China or whatever, where having a certificate of authenticity is important? Or does it add cachet? Or do people think that makes it seem more important? It cracks me up every freaking time, though, when I get something and it comes with a certificate of authenticity, like it's a piece of art or something. Y'all think that's funny too? You're all a little quiet today, unless my comments aren't coming through. By the way, I changed some camera settings. I don't know, do I look any better, any worse? I'm not sure. Because on my end, it always looks great, but then I do the playback and it looks a little grainy. So, but I upped some of the settings. What else was I going to talk about? Oh, 100th update, 100th episode update. 100th. Oh, yeah, I agree. Unless Jackie O owned it, I do not need a certificate of authenticity. Exactly. Something like that. Maybe like if it's an Hermes Birkin bag or something, it needs one. But even then, I don't even know if they come with one. So back to what I was saying, 100th episode update. So I can't count for shit. So I finally sat down and recounted just to make sure I had a report. Thursday, Thursday, September the 3rd is the 100th episode. Woo! I'm excited. So it gives me like 2 weeks to plan because it's 2 weeks from yesterday to plan. I'm going to do some giveaways. Some of the stuff that I've talked about that I love, I'm going to do some giveaways. How about that? Got to figure out the mechanics of all of that. But we'll do maybe give away an air fryer. How about that? Give away, I don't know. What else have I talked about? I'm going to have to go back and watch some of my own shit to know what I'm going to give away. Maybe have some of y'all as guests on. I don't know. And so that is the Thursday before Labor Day weekend. I was thinking the Friday after for episode 101, we could do that happy hour thing we were talking about. Since it's the Friday before the holiday, a lot of people are already starting to get off, all of that. Oh, I can give away bandanas. My God, how stupid am I that I didn't think of bandanas? Let me write down that brilliant idea. Thank you, Sandy. Bandana. That was a no duh moment, right? Sometimes I'm very grateful that I'm pretty because I'm not so smart. Give away your RV. That is not happening. No. I can give away RV equipment. We bought a new water pressure gauge for the RV to help up and down the water pressure. I'm sure all of y'all are just jonesing to have one of those. So give away first class nuts. Yes. I used to give away these first class nuts every Friday and Saturday night in my lower 20s. That joke never gets old, does it? No, it does not. Cooped Up 100. It's on the calendar. Yes. September the 3rd. Thursday, September the 3rd is the date. So, and I have written it down, so I actually will remember it. I don't know. Can y'all ever see what's actually on this card? I think the shine is too bright. What else? Just random shit I was going to ask about. Have any of y'all, so I'm looking for a book to read. And one of the books that I'm thinking about, it's kind of a cotton candy kind of book where it's fun, but there's no nutritional value whatsoever, is Kevin Kwan's new book, Sex and Vanity. And so Kevin Kwan is the author of all of the Crazy Rich Asians books, which I consumed in like a minute. Like I loved them. They were so good. And again, this is not groundbreaking. This is not Oprah's book club. We're not changing society with this. This is just fun cotton candy books. But this one is set in like the high society of Manhattan, I think is what it's set in. Sex and Vanity. Are any of y'all read that yet? Any of y'all seen it? Linda is saying reading, and it's so good. And we do Cooped Up Book Club. How about that? Anyway, so okay, good. So I'm gonna order it, I think, and get it. What else? And tell me about, if any of y'all have used green pans, tell me about it in the comments, please. Because I'm so curious. I am so, granted, I don't know why. We have all like what's the pan? I can't remember the name of the pan, whatever. I hate it when I start to talk about something and I just blank and I can't remember shit for shit. So I think that's all I had for today, y'all. Do y'all have anything to end the week? End the week. It is the end of the week. Cheers to surviving another week on planet quarantine, planet pandemic. So all clad, that's what I have. Yes, thank you, Sandy. That's what I have, all clad dish pans. So I don't know. Is this better? Have you tried it? Is this better than all clad? Because they're nice, but sometimes you gotta pamper them. And also I cook a lot in cast iron. And I cook a lot in enameled cast iron too. So I have a couple of Le Creuset pieces, which I love. I want every one of them, especially the enameled ones. And then I use just a good old fashioned seasoned cast iron skillet for a lot of things too. I think they're great. So, whew. Christy's exhausted. Did you have your first week this week? My cousin Christy is a teacher, and down in Shirts, I think is where you are, San Antonio area, where she was before. But I think Shirts is the name of the town where she is now. So I bet it's exhausting. I can't imagine just even the teachers, just the exhaustion from the anticipation and the stress and the just kind of waiting for it. So yeah, even if you don't have a kid yet in your classroom, I bet it's stressful. So, okay, well, y'all enjoy your weekend.
Thanks. You too.
Google thought I was talking to her, and she just, thanks, you too. That's our robot overlord is so polite. So with that, I'm going to say bye. I love you. You are loved. It's important to know that. I love that you watched this. This is my daily therapy. And actually, this is the most words I've said all fucking day. So thank you for letting me talk to y'all. And with that, I'm going to say bye. Stay away from people this weekend. Just wear your fucking mask if you go out. Let's keep the numbers low. Let's keep them low. And we'll get through this together. So talk to you later. See you Monday at 4:15 for another episode of Cooped Up Live. Bye. Oh, and you're welcome, Sandy. Always happy to make y'all laugh. And you too. Bye. See you later.